Alright, this is a 2005 Nissan Pathfinder. It's got the service engine light and it was stalling while driving. We just did a scan of it. I should not have done a whole scan because it does not have, well, it has gnats, but catalyst, the Viac, the crankshaft position sensor 335, the crankshaft, so that's going to be on the bottom. Small evap leak, 442 of 440. Alright, enter, because it didn't have it while idling, it was only while driving. Actually, I could have looked up the other codes real quick, but it stalled out while driving. I know these are pretty common for camshaft position sensors. Let's just look up crank. You don't have a what about a position? Do you have a cam? You don't have any position sensor shit. Alright. So we're gonna get that fault code. 335. So we're gonna log into Identifix real quick. We're gonna get the location in the schematic, and then we might hook up the picoscope or just hook up a voltmeter and check out the connection. Alright, so I looked up on Identifix the 335, and it actually gives you a known good waveform for idling and for 2000 RPMs. So if we need to hook up the picoscope, we'll have known good waveforms, which is really nice actually, and they tell you the wire to go on. I haven't seen that on any Dodge stuff at all, but that's primarily what I work on. It says check the grounds. This is the only code for this kind of issue, so I'm not gonna really do that. And then it just says go straight into the location of it, check powers, check grounds on it, check at the ECM to make sure it's got continuity, but we'll do like a voltage drop test. That picture kind of sucks. That's the right hand upper control arm link, I believe, because it says with the fender removed. So that's the link right there, and then the sensors behind it. That is a lot of work to remove these fender liners. I think I'm just gonna remove this intake and get a better look at it, because I'm assuming it's down there. I can sort of see it. I think I see it, but we'll get this out and then we'll come back maybe, or maybe I'll leave you guys up if I can find a spot. Where I'm just gonna take that out. And the key is off right now because oh, that's already come apart on us. That's cool. Don't pop on. Oof, need a mirror pop on. That's cool. Basically, it just says pin 1 is power, should be key hot, power, then 3 is ground, says check the ground, I have to plug it off and key on, and then it says make sure the continuity from here to the ECM, tells the ECM pin. What? Alright. Why would you put it? We'll grab a ratchet wrench. I'm gonna say this is a 2005 with it's never been changed. So I'm gonna go with this, probably sensor, but we'll do Linux, just test. Never spark a bolt. Like, why would you do that? Come on. Okay, we've got a lot better access over here. What it says, that's a 1 wire. It says the right, okay, so view from the front fender upper link, you'll see some weird, oh, that's the brake line. And it just says the crankshaft position sensors behind that. The brake line's in the back. Are we on the wrong side? 'Cause yeah, there's your brake line adapter. This is the left-hand side. So that's a classic rookie mistake. It's from the driver's seat. So the right hand, it is somewhere in that rat's nest. And this one I've had out of here before, doing some power steering lines, so it's barely in there right now. Let me see if I can get this back out, and then I'll come back. Alright, so we got the fender liner out. That was kind of a pain in the butt, but I believe, so this is that brake line in the picture. The right hand means it's that guy. I hope you guys can see that. It's got the thermal shrouding for the exhaust in the way, or the little plastic guy. But that's the one we got to get to and back probe and possibly take out. I'm gonna turn the wheel, maybe take the wheel off, and we'll get back. All right, so we got the wheel off, and that is your crank sensor right there. It actually showed it pretty well in the picture. I was just an idiot and I didn't look at this brake line where it was located in the picture. I'll try and post that picture, but it's on the passenger side, and I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's a red, a green, and a brown. So red is pin 1, that should be our key hot. Green is the signal, and brown is the ground. So we're going to test all 3 of them. If we need to, we'll get the scope out and see the waveform. I'm pretty sure I need to update my Pico, so that might have to be at a later date, but I kind of need to get this going. But yeah, let me set you guys down and I'll get my back probes in there. I'm just gonna put the ground on the chassis or something, and then what's a good spot for you guys? There's not a lot of good spots right here. Right there. And then you guys can see sort of where we're working at. Right, you can see on there. Yeah, we'll put that. I should just go get a light out. I'm gonna just go grab a light and I'll be right back with the leads and stuff too. Alright, that allows us to get in there. We just gotta hook up the back probe. There's a crop duster flying overhead. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but mildly annoying because he hasn't been flying over for the last 30 minutes and he just decided to. So that voltage DC. So place you guys can see that. We're gonna place the ground. Where's a good ground? That should be ground. I can touch the battery from here and we'll be able to tell if that's a good ground. Are you, oh, you're not. Whoops, down one. Yeah, so 12.25. There you go. So that's a good ground. And then we got to get this probe on the red wire, which is going to be a little difficult, but actually, I think the diagram said you're supposed to front probe it. So you would disconnect it. I can't actually remember what it says right now. And I don't have the scan tool out right. I just put it away. So we're gonna see about back probing it. There we go. Alright, I think that's in there. Why does it say we have millivolts? That's weird. The key's been off for like 2 days. But I can just go to battery ground because it's just right above this. Alright, I do not have the key. I'll be right back. I'm going to turn this off and come back. Alright, so I wasn't getting a good reading with key hot. So I did look at it. It says to disconnect it. So I've got it off. I've got this in the first pin, which is the red wire. The black goes straight to battery ground, not the frame or anything. And then there's the multimeter. I'm going to go turn the key on and see what happens. So that's key on, engine off, and we've got battery voltage. I guess the battery is getting pretty low. So there's that, and then the only thing we need to test is the ground. So this is actually going to read, the snap-on reads negative when it's reverse polarity, but that is a full-time ground, so it's not key hot. So it's got a power and ground, so I guess the next thing we need to do is hook up the Pico. I am trying to update it right now. Well, yeah, I gotta get, I think it's Pico 7 and I have Pico 6. So once I get that, I will back probe. It says on the green wire, which, take our little probe out, turn that guy off. So there's the plug. It's hard to show you guys because it's tight in there, and my light is just in the most inconvenient spot known to man. But it goes, oh, you guys can't see that. Fuck. It's red, green, brown. Green's the signal. Red should be the 12 volt supply and brown's the ground. So let me get that all updated and we'll come back. Alright, so it took a second because I've got my son out here, but we got it hooked up and we got it downloaded, installed. and we got it running. So we need to re-get this plugged in. Alright, so it just snapped in. I gotta get that heat shield back so I can see the wires. And then I really need to get this bag probe to work. The power steering suction line is leaking, so a lot of this shit is covered, at least up here, in some power steering fluid. It doesn't look like it's made its way back here, but everything I touch on the other side. Hey buddy. Hi. Did you find a candy cane? So I can't tell if we're in there or not. Classic. It came right out. This is sort of flexible. It is hard getting in here. I really was trying to avoid using a piercing probe, but I've got some that we need. Hey buddy. Oh, you poking me? Oh. You're poking me while Dad's trying to poke this wire. And you guys are just watching all this struggle happen. Yeah, we cannot get on there. Well, I can't push down too hard on it because well, this is the ones that just came with it. It's got a lot of flex, so when you push on it, it just bends. Yeah, buddy, what are you doing? Hey, no hitting in the head. No hitting in the head, puppy. Alright, so I want to try and keep this probe off the exhaust. We're only going to run it for a second. Yeah, do you see it?
What do?
Ah, we're hooking this up. It helps the car run, buddy. Ah, I pulled it out. What? Well, you want to go play? Alright, we're going to come back in a second. I'm going to go play for a little bit and we'll be back. So I do believe we got probed in on there. And the other one is on ground. It's the only trace on there, it's red. So it's sitting at 0. Alright, buddy. I should have just left you guys out there with it. So I'm gonna go do. Hold on, Poppy. So it's sitting at about. Hold on, buddy. That is about 9 volts, I think. Let's go start it up. Hey, don't shut that. All right, so we need to slow down our time basis. Oh man. Oops, wrong way. All right, so it's skipping. So that's our, I don't know if you guys can see, that's our capture. It's kind of skipping every now and then. I'm not sure if that's, oh, it stopped. So let's go to 10. And we're gonna set a, so that's our, I'm gonna have to go back and look. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of those. Yeah, buddy? Hey. Don't hit that, please. Thank you. So yeah, that's it right there. We're gonna have to go look at the known good and see how this compares. There's a little bit, but that's still fine. It's still raising up to 12 volts, it looks like. 11.9. And it drops down to 65 millivolts, so it's not quite 0. So I think that's a good one right there. We're gonna keep that up. And then we're gonna save that. Hold on, buddy. Oh man, I gotta really mess around with this. Hey, where are you going? Okay. Now we need to set one at 2,000 RPMs. We'll just go back down. We're gonna increase that to 10. Now we're gonna go to 2,000 RPMs, and it's running. All right, that was 2,000 RPMs and we shut it off. I need to go back man, did it not? Oh, I guess I didn't set a trigger. How do I go back in the time scale? Rules, negative 50 milliseconds. 20 volts. I guess we're gonna have to go back and actually watch what we got, because it didn't show up, but that looked like the waveform we were supposed to get. We might have to hook up on the ECM and go on a test drive, because it only does it when you're driving. It doesn't actually do it sitting still. Let's get out of that. Oh, so it got 63. Oh, that was a... Oh, they got way closer together. And then back further apart. So they just get tighter together. Hope you guys can see that. So that's at 2,000 RPMs, and then this was idle. So it was idling, idling, and you'll see me pick up RPMs and steadily get to 2,000. And then I slowed down and turned it off. But it looks pretty consistent. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's 10 teeth, I guess, on the crank. This looks fine, I think. There's this weird negative drop that only happens every now and then. Oh, I guess that's on where the trigger's going. But yeah, we're gonna disconnect for right now. It's getting dark out. I need to go play with the kiddo and get him to bed. We've got a new sensor. We might just throw it in and see where that goes. We haven't used the Pico in a while, so we're trying to hook it up and see what this looks like. But yeah, it looks all right to me. This looks like any old good crankshaft. I'm not sure about the spacing, but we'll have to go back and look. I'll put the other, hopefully I can do some shit on the screen and show what it's supposed to look like at 2,000, and then what it's supposed to look like at idle. Is just more, yeah, it's spaced out. But yeah, we'll have to go back and do that. All right, I'm gonna try and explain this as best as I can. Our cranks waveform looked good idling, but this truck didn't have a problem idling. It only going down the road after a couple minutes. So I've got a few wires hooked up, and we got the laptop in there. Let me start recording so you guys can see this screen. This is Identifix, so we're not going to look at that, but I'll have that recording at the same time. You will see probe number 1, or wire number 1, red, goes to the ECM 119 right there. There's that bottom plug. We're going to plug into that to make sure it doesn't lose power. That will be on the red one. This is going to be looking for power. So the other side of the red one goes to a ground, so it'll tell us when we're hot. The green one is on hot right now, and the green lead is going to look for the ground to make sure we're not losing the ground, which will be pin 3 of the brown goes to E24, any old ground that says. I don't think we're losing ground. And then it says the green pin, the signal wire, goes to pin 13 on the ECM, and pin 13 is on this plug right here. So we're gonna find that and back probe with the blue. Blue is gonna be our signal. Green is looking for our ground. Red's looking for our hot to see if we lose either of those. So that should be constant 14 and constant 14 as well, negative 14, but yeah. So that's the setup we got going on now. There's the waveform that we have. That's where the grounds are. It just tells you that, and it says check it. So that's what we're gonna do right now. We're gonna look for pin 19, which should be somewhere on this top row. Right there, okay. So let's stop recording and look for pin 19. Alright, so it stopped. Pin 19 is, okay. I don't know how to get you guys in a good position. We have the battery charger on it because I'm charging the laptop while the truck is off. The sun is in a weird spot, so it's hard to get you guys a good angle on it. Let me find pin 19 and I'll show you guys. So that's on the left. It should be 24, 23. So it's this top one. 24, 23, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's a purple wire up here. Oh no, it's pin 13, not pin 19. Whoops. So pin 6, starting from the bottom top row. 1, 2, or 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That doesn't look right. It's right in front of the connector. There's no greens there. It says it's gonna be green, but on here it's not green. I've got that on the left hand side. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This pin right here should be the crank sensor signal. So if we look on the top, yeah, it goes all the way over there. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's a brown wire. I'm not so sure about this anymore. I've got it oriented like they do in a picture. They're saying it's not green on the back side of this, but these colors might be wrong. 6, right? Starts at 6. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So they're saying that one right there is our crank. Where did I put my pocket screwdriver? So As you can see, hopefully you guys can see that, we had to count back. So there's the five larger pins, and then so this top one over here should be 6. So we counted up to 13. It's a brown wire, but that might be incorrect. We're gonna check it on the scope. It had these little these are a little geared, so you got to get them lined up with that little entryway. I don't know if you guys can see that. That has to be lined up with, there's that guy, those little tabs right there. Damn, the sun is really fucking me, but yeah, that's what we're trying to do. We're gonna get that lined up. We're gonna put this on the ground E24, which I believe is underneath. It says E24 is underneath the air box. Oh no, it's underneath the battery. It says it's the ground right over there. But yeah, let me get all that hooked up, because I just gotta mesh these teeth in. It's hard to do, and the sun's really screwing me. I'll bring you guys back when we're in the cab and we got all the probes hooked up, and we're gonna go on a test drive. So we gotta get the wheel back on. I gotta get all these wires tucked out of the way. But yeah, we'll be right back. Okay, so that view I showed you, that was from the back side. That one I was on the other side. So that is pin 13. So it's a view from the back side, not from the front side of it. So we got that going. We're on just battery ground, because E24 is a good connection. There's a 0.001 drop, voltage drop across it, and that's under load. And then this goes to the ECM relay out, because fuck finding that pin on the bottom, but it says it goes to ECM relay. So we've got that all set up. We're reading 14 volts, and we've got the crank now. So now we can go on a drive. We just got to put the hood down. So our wires are safe. How to capture my screen, I guess, besides you guys just capturing it. Not sure if you guys can see that. How do you is there like a screen record or something? Okay, well, so that might be all we have for right now. I'm sorry, that's really shitty. But that's all we got. That window's got to stay down just a little bit. Got my iPad. Here's that connector. You just push these things, these down. The pocket screwdriver pops out. Here's a new sensor. I'm pretty sure it's a sensor. This is taking a lot longer than normal because I'm trying to record and I'm not good at this, man. But I think having the information out there would be nice for other people, because I know there's not a ton of information out there. Also, I like editing. It's one of my hobbies, so that's why we're doing this. So she's driving normal right now. We have 3/4 of a tank. You can see we're not losing ground or voltage right now. Hi, Knox. Ooh. That's our neighbor's dog. We're gonna try and stay on some back roads so we don't break down, because it's gonna die. You can see our crank sensor looks good right now. shifting just fine. Took it a couple miles before. I might just skip you guys until we find it or it happens or something, but I'll leave the camera rolling. Alright, so what I've come up with is it's got to be an intermittent issue, because I was touching stuff over there when we were probing. I unplugged it, plugged it back in. We unplugged the ECM, plugged it back in. That was a 30-minute drive, nothing happened. I think we're still going to replace the sensor. The power and the grounds did nothing. I did realize I needed a third channel, because that's the ground and the power. If I lose one of them, I wouldn't know which one. So I should have said, should have stayed with my 3-channel setup. But we didn't lose it. If we would have, I would have to go back and put a third channel and monitor the ground independently of the power, so we know which one we're losing, if that was a problem. But we didn't lose it, so it must have been something with a pin fitment or an intermittent issue with the sensor, because it did sit for a couple weeks before, and then that was the first time we drove it. I've obviously messed with stuff under there, so we're gonna throw this on there. It was only, I think it was like 30 or 20 bucks on if you have an account at O'Reilly's, and then we're just gonna stop. I've got to go do some batteries for my big truck and some other stuff for work, because this is my personal vehicle, so that's why I just bought the part anyways. And then we actually have a leak on the GMC, which we've done a video on. That one's got a leak. Where's the mouse? On the power steering line. So that'll be a fun one to do. I think I do want to save this. I'm just gonna call it known good crank sensor. 05 Pathfinder. Oop. Good crank signal, or yeah, crankshaft signal. We're gonna save all of them. Miles is 166, 671 miles. It's a car. Oh dang, you can put all this in? Nissan Pathfinder. It's a 2005. I didn't know you could do that. But okay, so we've got that saved. I might put that on the video. I don't know how to do that. I'm gonna try and get screen recording set up for next time I use the Pico. I don't use it a whole lot, honestly. It's just for little shit like this. I've used it for the Viac, which is the It's the intake short runner thing. Dodge has it. They call it a Viac on here. It's vacuum controlled. I've used it for that. I've used it on big trucks for speed sensors, making sure they're reading the same as what the ECM's seeing. Other dumb shit like that. Backhoes, I've used it for a cam crank correlation thing. I guess update. But yeah, so we're gonna end up on this one just replacing the sensor. So I'll take the wheel back off. That's the one that needs the power steering line over there. But for this one, I'm gonna do that crank sensor. Oh man, we're gonna have to let it cool down. I don't know if we need a video of that. It's one fucking pulse. Pulls out, pushes in, one connection. But yeah, we'll show that when we get there. I do need to fix this power steering link. It's the hose coming straight off that, so we'll get all that. I don't think I'm gonna show all that because I'm gonna have a hard enough time editing this, and I think it'll be kind of fun. But yeah, that's it. Thanks guys.